I stood at the edge of the crowd that day, the heat of the sun pressing down as Jesus spoke. The air was thick with expectation, his words charged with urgency. He was unlike anyone I'd ever heard. His stories seemed simple at first, but they held layers of meaning that left you wrestling with their truth long after he finished. This time, he spoke of a fig tree. "Look at the fig tree," he said, his voice steady, his gaze piercing. "And all the trees, as soon as they sprout leaves, you see for yourselves and know that summer is near. So also when you see these things taking place, you know that the kingdom of God is near." I glanced around, confused. A fig tree? What did it have to do with anything? But his tone drew me in. "These things," he said, speaking of wars, famines, earthquakes, signs that the world itself seemed to groan under a heavy weight. He was telling us to watch, to be alert. "Truly, I say to you, this generation will not pass away until all these things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away." His words hit like a hammer. The permanence of the earth, the stars, even the heavens themselves. He said they would fade, yet his words would remain. Could it be true? Could his promises, his warnings, outlast the very ground beneath our feet? I thought of the fig trees that lined the roads outside the city. When their leaves appeared, it was a sign. Summer was at the door. Jesus was telling us to look for signs in the world around us, to be awake to the reality that his kingdom was drawing near. That was years ago, but now, as I watch the world, his words feel more alive than ever. The earth quakes, nations rage, and people live as if tomorrow is promised. The fig tree is sprouting, but how many see it? This story is not just about the end of days. It's about living ready. It's about recognizing the signs of God's movement, even when the world is blind to them. The urgency of Jesus' message is still relevant. We are called to wake up, to see the spiritual season we are in, and to prepare our hearts for his return. I didn't understand it fully that day, but now I see. Just as summer follows the budding fig tree, his kingdom is closer than we think. His words endure, unshaken by the chaos of this world. And so I watch and I wait, praying that I will be found ready when he comes.